Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Vice Minister Prof. Stella, Vice Minister Bapak Giring, and also the special staff of the Presidents of Indonesia, Yofi, Pak Yofi, and also Ibu Nani as the Deputy Minister for the Coordinating Minister. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, our event is about to begin. Please be seated. A gentle reminder, please ensure that all mobile devices are switched into silent mode. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, our event is about to begin. Please be seated. Before we start our event, I would like to invite all the guests to stand up as we are going to sing the national anthem Indonesia Raya. Campus. This is a safety briefing that all guests must comply. Evacuation facilities consist of 2 doors and emergency stairs on each floor, both on the north and south sides, and 2 assembly points located in the front area of the C lobby and in front of the Tsinghua Gate.
Fire hydrants and emergency exits are positioned in front of the auditorium. And in case of earthquake, please proceed to the C lobby of the Tsinghua Gate lobby on the first floor. In case of tsunami, please evacuate to the mezzanine area on the fourth floor using the stairs. Smoking is prohibited except in the places provided in the Starbucks area on the first floor. Carrying sharp weapons, firearms, and alcoholic beverage while in the UID building area is prohibited. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Shalom, Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, Salam Kebajikan, may peace be upon us. Good afternoon, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Music and Brain Public Lecture 2025. My name is Dian, and it is an honor for me to be the host of this event. To begin, allow me to extend our warmest welcome to our guests of honor and distinguished speakers. Vice Minister of Higher Education, Science and Technology of the Republic Indonesia, Her Excellency Professor Stella Christie, PhD. Director of Tsinghua Laboratory of Brain and Intelligence, Tsinghua University, Professor Shakin Wang. Vice Minister of Culture of the Republic of Indonesia, His Excellency Haji Giring Ganesa Jumario, SICOM. President of Indonesia's Special Staff for Creative Economy, Bapak Yofi Widianto. Tsinghua Southeast Asia Center Board of Trustee, Ibu Sherry Nursalim. And I would also like to extend a heartfelt welcome to all the lecturers and the students joining us from universities across Indonesia, esteemed researchers, passionate music enthusiasts, government representatives, and all the participants from diverse backgrounds. And we are delighted to have you here with us today. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, before we start our event, allow me to give you a short background of this public lecture. This public lecture is organized as part of the Ministry of Higher Education, Science and Technology of the Republic of Indonesia's effort to enhance knowledge and understanding of the connection between art, science, and technology in Indonesia, especially in the fields of music and neuroscience. This event features esteemed speakers from Tsinghua University, representatives from Government of Indonesia, and talented musicians from both Indonesia and China. Through this event, we will explore how music influences cognition, creativity, and emotional well-being, while also delving into the intricate ways it shapes the human brain. Ladies and gentlemen, to begin our agenda today, I would like to invite the Vice Minister of Higher Education, Science and Technology of the Republic of Indonesia, Her Excellency Professor Stella Christie, to deliver her opening remarks. To Professor Stella, the stage is yours.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Om Swastiastu, salam sejahtera, namo buddhaya, salam kebajikan, shalom salve. Good afternoon to all of you. 下午好，对，大家好。His Excellency
Giring Ganesha Jumario, Vice Minister of Culture, and Ibu, terima kasih sekali sudah datang. Mr. Yofi Widianto, President of Indonesia Special Staff for Creative Economy. Of course, my dear colleagues and friends, Professor Xiaoqin Wang, thank you for bringing the beautiful and amazing science to Bali, into Indonesia. Zhang Zhisheng, Consul General of the People's Republic of China in Denpasar, 非常感谢您今天进来。Ibu Nani Hendiarte, Deputy of Food Affordability and Security, Coordinating Ministry of Food Affairs. Terima kasih Ibu sudah datang. Oke, Bapak Jody hari ini tidak bisa hadir. Oke. Dr. Ahmad Najib Burhani, Director General of Science and Technology at the Ministry of Higher Education and Science and Technology. Bapak Najib and I, of course, work together in daily life. So thank you for making the time to come here. Ibu Cherry Nur Salim, thank you for all the wonderful things that you have provided to us. Bapak Gusti Lanang Bagus Aratoi, Bapak Kepala LL Dikti, terima kasih Bapak. Segala sesuatu tentang pendidikan tinggi kami serahkan dan sudah dijaga dengan baik, terima kasih. Dan Bapak Dekan, Profesor Dr. Komang Januarta Putra Pinati, Dekan dari Fakultas Kedokteran, Dean of the Faculty of Medicine, Udayana University. Selamat datang Bapak ke sini. Baik. And of course, to my fellow friends and scientists, fellow friends, brain scientists, it's really wonderful to see all of you. And to all of you that I cannot say one by one, thank you for making it to this very, very exciting event this afternoon. It's really great to see the enthusiasm of so many people to make it to a public lecture. It's a very, very exciting event. This event has a lot of history, but of course, the most important nugget of this event is that President Prabowo Subianto and Vice President Raka Buming Raka have put a very strong message about the development of our country, of our nation, Republic of Indonesia, that is called the 8th Asta Cita. And in the 8th Asta Cita, the 4th Asta Cita is to develop the science and technology. And in the 8th is to develop our living together through our culture. And today's event is the synergy between Asta Cita number 4 and Asta Cita number 8. Science is a universal thing, and culture is a universal thing. And we want to bring together science and culture as part of our daily lives. Only by realizing that science is part of our daily life, that in our culture there is science and vice versa, it's science in our culture, we will grow as a strong nation with a strong culture and a strong science and technology. So today, thank you. So today I'm very lucky to be supported by Vice Minister Giring, that the whole Ministry of Culture is supporting this event, and we work together from part of our government. I'm also very, very lucky to be supported by my scientist friends. Professor Xiaoqin Wang is one of the world's most renowned expert in music and brain. And when we think about how can we see truly why science and culture truly have no separation. For us Indonesian, the first entry point, or the most amazing entry point, obviously, is music. I don't know if our international friends know that some of our friends in China, we in Indonesia also really love karaoke. Okay. But you go anywhere and everywhere in Indonesia, we have amazing music. Music is just an inseparable part of our culture. And when, for people, including myself, who study music and how is it processed in the brain, already last year, This is not the first Music and Brain event. This is the first public Music and Brain event. But last year, Professor Xiaoqin Wang and I and several colleagues who are here was already making the first workshop, the first Bali workshop on music and brain. So in our science, we're trying to understand how music is processed in the brain, and Professor Xiaoqin Wang will tell you more about it. But what I want to tell you is that when we were deciding about where we should gather this event, of course, at that time, I was a professor in the Tsinghua University at Beijing last year. We were thinking of doing it in Beijing, but I said to Xiaoqin, to Professor Wang, we should do it in a place that's very exciting about music, and that's Bali, Indonesia. And if you don't know, you know about gamelan of Bali. But gamelan in Bali has a really special structure in musicology, such that that structure is not found in any other musical structures of the world. So for us scientists to study the musicology and how it's processed in the brain of a gamelan Bali is something that's very exciting. But I suspect that gamelan Bali is not the only really special musical structure that we have in Indonesia. I suspect that there are many, many very special musical structures in many, many parts of Indonesia. And this is why when we think about that science and culture is really inseparable, Indonesia is a testament of how that beautiful, amazing, diverse cultures truly live in everyday life. And that we really need to put together the scientific mind to study those, to preserve those, and to appreciate it. This is the most important thing. We have to appreciate our culture. And so appreciations of culture is the most important thing that we can hold as a nation, that we can do, so that we can actually grow together and be stronger, both in science and technology and culture. So again, I want to thank you very much. I will keep my remarks very short because there are a lot more exciting things today. You all know that Mas Giring and actually Mas Yofi are going to make a performance today for us, very special. So I had the honor. One of the great things of like being in the cabinet is being able to ask really special people to also make contributions to the public. Okay, so jadi saya bisa langsung nodong Mas Giring sama Mas Yofi supaya supaya bisa langsung menyumbangkan. Dan kita juga akan mendengar begitu hebatnya bagaimana otak kita bekerja, bagaimana musik itu diproses oleh otak, tapi tentu saja sebagai bangsa Indonesia, kita sangat bangga terhadap budaya yang kita miliki. Dan salah satu yang begitu penting yang harus kita jiwai adalah bagaimana budaya ini adalah juga sangat tinggi ilmunya, dari ilmu sains dan teknologi. Mudah-mudahan para saudara hadirin sekalian akan menikmati, sungguh saya membuat menikmati yang akan kalian lihat. We are going to first hear the amazing science of brain and music. And truly today, it is not a formal event, most of all. It is truly an event where science and culture meet, and I hope you enjoy them. Thank you very much. Terima kasih.
Sustainability and Food Safety, the coordinating ministry for topics, and also Professor Johannes Surya, founder of that initiative. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, next it is with the greatest pleasure here, Tsinghua Laboratory of Brain and Intelligence at the Tsinghua University, Professor Xiaoqin Wang, to deliver his scientific talk on how music influences the brain and our health. To Professor Xiaoqin Wang, the floor is yours.
Oh, really warm feeling to be here. This is my second time in Bali. I was here a year ago, and for the I study explaining the first brain and music workshop. This is the second one. It's a very special honor as a scientist to be able to explain to you what we do in science, particularly brain and music, is opportunity, is great honor. It's also a great honor, special honor, because my colleague Stanley Christie is here in the audience, and I just speechless. So I hope in next 45 minutes or so, I can share with you some basic knowledge on how the brain work to process music. Many of you, all of you listen over there. Secondly, some of the cutting edge research we're doing right now that try to understand this process. So many of you might know last year, 2024, Nobel Prize given to two scientists, to many people's surprise and to many people's expectation, that two scientists who made fundamental contribution to artificial intelligence. Okay, intelligence. This is really important event in modern science because until now, computer science was never given Nobel Prize. But why they were given Nobel Prize? Because it's a contribution they made. The artificial system we know today forever change how we live and work. But the reason I bring up is ask, what is next? So if you talk to scientists anywhere in the world, what will be the next big question we as scientists and engineers want to solve? The next question, in my view, many people agree, is here. What is the biological basis of intelligence? So the artificial intelligence AI system is not really intelligent. Its computer system is sophisticated enough to allow us to use existing knowledge to do predictions, to fittings, to help us do this and that. But it's not near close to what we all have in our brain that we consider a human intelligence. So this question was proposed 7 years ago when at Tsinghua University, we created this special institute called the Tsinghua Laboratory of Brain and Intelligence, where Professor Stanley Christie has been working with us for the last couple of years together to tackle these very important questions, the biological basis of intelligence. That is, if you look at human brain in a few minutes, I will dissect some inside of this. What is that element, working circuits, that make us human being uniquely special? Okay. Now, of course, unanswered question has many practical applications. This would allow us to build human-like artificial intelligence system, eventually help us to a better life. So in our approach, one of our approach to understand the biological basis of intelligence is through the study of music. Because we believe music is a window into human intelligence. This is something very unique to us as humans, but we do not yet fully understand why it's so unique and how does our brain process this. This is what brought us to Bali, me and many of my colleagues in the audience. We just finished 2.5 days of exciting scientific symposium with the scientists, engineers, doctors, and musicians. Okay, that's the question we're asking today. Okay, now, why do we humans listen to music? Every year, I teach students at universities. I ask this question. I'm asking question for all of you. We all enjoy music, but why do we listen to music at all? This question, Charles Darwin actually wondered himself long ago. He said in this famous book of Descent of Man, as neither the enjoyment nor the capacity of producing musical notes are factors of the least direct use to man in reference to his ordinary habit of life. They must be ranked among the most mysterious with which he is endowed. The so-called ordinary habit of life is what we eat, drink, breathing. Without that, we die. But music, if we don't listen it, we still live. I ask a student every year in American universities in Beijing, why do we listen to music? This is an important question, not necessarily a philosophical question, but in our view, is a biological question. This is what the reason we study the brain. Charles Darwin also went on to write this passage in his autobiography that I just cite here, that he said if he would live his life again, he would read some poetry and then listen to some music at least once every week so that his brain will be kept alive and youthful. And at that time, he has no knowledge of brain science, as we will be discussing today. No idea of music could be used as a tool for medicine and therapy. But he did say that by doing so, this might enfabling the emotional parts of nature. So in short, if I give you message today, is what does music do for us? Why we have to listen to music? Because if we human have a soul, music is that a message that's touch our soul. That's why we need it beyond eating, drinking, and breathing. And we as neuroscientists are trying to understand which part of our brain actually does this operation. Now, if I show this picture to you, some of you know this picture, many don't. I ask you, is this beautiful? I think most people say it is beautiful. Now, there are many pictures I can take as this in Indonesia. So I will take some pictures in this trip, and then next time when I give a talk in US, Europe, or China, I will show a picture of Bali, ask a similar question. But here's a question. This is one of the most beautiful places in China, if you have not been to. All the Chinese people knows in a place called Guilin, okay, called Guilin. This is what Chinese culture consider the most beautiful scenery. Once I gave a lecture 15 years ago in Israel, Middle East. There's no river, nothing. I showed this, asked them, is this beautiful? They say it's beautiful. They've never seen this in their life because it's all desert. Okay. The question is, I use this analogy to see why we as humans see beauty. We see beauty like this. We see beauty in sunset, sunrise. This is the same question we're asking. Why is music beautiful? When we listen to music, we feel it's beauty. It's not necessity we have to listen to it, but it's beauty we enjoy. Why it's beautiful? And how does the brain process music? Which is the theme of my lecture today. And then I end up my lecture by discussing how can we use music to improve our health. I think many people in the audience are interested in this. So what is music? To begin with, I had my initial training as an electrical engineer. I turned into a neuroscientist. So for any engineer, any computer scientist audience, you can immediately understand when someone play a violin. Oh, okay. When someone play a violin, general sound, that you can plot in this form: frequency, time, and intensity. If you are musicians, you can further write down the notes of the music that has contents like melody, harmony, rhythm. That's music. That's going into our ear. Okay, depends how you look at it. Now, but how does our brain accept this? So if you can excuse me for a few minutes, I'm a teacher. I teach every year. I just want to share with you the basic knowledge we already know as a scientist. How does music get into our ear, get in our brain? This is it. Now, our human body has brain and has senses that allow us to live in the world. We can see things from visual system, hear from the ear, and feel from the hand, and smell from the nose. And these senses bring the outside information, if you can see down here, into the brain, and the brain make decisions and generate memory emotions and then tell our hand and foot to act. So if you are musicians, you can play. In a few minutes, you will see pianists play here. That's controlled by this system. So for music, this system involved is hearing that is through our ear. And I've been studying hearing for 30 plus years. Now, but what is brain like? I suspect many of you have actually never seen what a brain like. This is a picture of the brain taken from a hospital after a person passed away. Doctor takes the brain, preserve it, and so this is not living brain, but it's brain real as can get it to. And what you can see here is the brain. This is a side of your brain. It's like I'm sitting here, you're looking here without my skull. You see how all the wrinkles, we call it sockets. And everything we have, every emotion we have, every love, every hate, everything we have is inside. There's about 1 kilo tissue. Okay. Now, if you analyze how this does, this is how scientists does. Now we give a color, but this color is fake. We put a color here, so you can see brain has different areas: the frontal lobe, the parietal lobe, the temporal lobe. What makes us hear music is around here. Okay. Now, modern days, engineers have developed techniques such as MRI, magnetic resonance imaging, so that you can see the brain of a live person. This is the brain of a live person. If any of you go to hospital, take a picture, you get it. So you can see those wrinkles, the sockets. Then the scientists can use this to analyze it. Okay. Now, then let's go back to the music. If someone play an instrument here, that sound goes to my ear. How do I hear it? Well, the sound come to ear through the ear, and then go through processes, several stages, eventually reach the brain. So when we say we hear music, precisely, it's not our ear. It is our brain that hear music, okay, through the ear. Now, ear is actually a very sophisticated technique. This is everything we need to know to begin with, to know the music. So sound coming from ear canal, generate oscillation and eardrum, and then goes into the device called cochlear. And the cochlear has vibration apparatus inside where music and other sound are generated in the signals into the brain. So if you dissect this further, then cochlear has those very carefully structured biological organ called hair cells. And these hair cells vibrate. Then music make them fire action potentials, pulses into the brain. And the brain can send a signal back to control this. So when you pay attention to a piece of music, it acts on here. Now, this is a bit technical, but inside the deep in the cochlear, there are these hair cells that goes back and forth when you hear music. Okay. If this is damaged, for example, if you go to a place where it's too loud noise, or if you have disease from genetic inheritance or other medicine, then you could lose this. Once you lose this, you will never not be able to hear. So this is the most sensitive organ in our body, allow us to listen. Once music signal goes through here, it become what we call electronic pulses. Electronic pulses. So from here, from hair cells, they go to this electronic pulses literally right now in every one of you in your brain, because you're listening to my talk. There are those pulses going on, conveying my voice well into your brain right here behind the ear. Okay. Now, how does a scientist analyze this? How do we analyze this? I just told you the process. The sound going here, eventually understand is music, piano or violin or other things. Well, there are 3 levels of analysis we conduct. Okay. First level analysis is we analyze what's acoustic features of music that brain process. Then we analyze what kind of emotional contents that music carry. Finally, we answer the question, why music sounds beautiful, aesthetics. Okay. Now, one of the things that's interesting in nature create is that the cochlear, I just explained to you, that is the first apparatus of music processing, sound processing, works like a piano keyboard, literally. So if you expand the cochlear, it's like a piano keyboard. You touch any part of a cochlear, there's one sound that's producing. So let me give you a computer simulation, show you what it would be like if you have a little eye into the cochlear when it's listen to music. Can you play video, please? So this is a computer simulation based on the data scientists gathered. Show you the vibration within the cochlear when a simple tone, complex tone music. There should be some sound to see if you can produce. Okay, so this is within a cochlear. Can you play some? Okay, this is one tone, high tone, three tone. Let's work at. So when we all hear this sound within our ear, that's vibration. Okay, it's like a many keys being played. Now you can tell low frequency here, middle frequency here, is high frequency here. So this gives you a straightforward view of how the piano keyboard generates sound into our ear. But it does not tell you how multiple sounds are combined and give rise to music. Individual keys does not make music. So another aspect of this is that music is not just about hearing. Everything I told you at the moment is hearing. You can feel it because music is a multi-sensory process. Play music instrument involve both auditory and tactile perception. Can you play song? This is a video I took yesterday during gamelan performance. Really marvelous, beautiful song. And is it finished? So anyway, what you can see here, when musicians play music, gamelan or any instrument, not only it generates sound we hear, but it also generate vibration their fingers feel. So that's why when you go to a concert hall, you're sitting there, you feel, hear music, your body have sensors, it feels. It's different than you hear music from earphone. Now, how do human knows there's a vibration? That's because in our fingers, we have receptors that sense the vibration, such as the one shown here. When someone play violin, the finger touches the string, but underneath each finger surface, there are a number of receptors that are sensors of vibration, very sensitive vibrations. Okay, among them, for example, there's one called Pacini that is deep in their finger that can sense subtle vibrations at a very high active and highly active during natural behavior. So for any musicians play any instrument, your somatosensory system, we call it touch, and auditory system work together. That gives you the music generation process. And for the audience, if someone play music in a few minutes, the front row guest would feel that vibration directly. Now, the vibration from fingers, from a body, and the sound from the ear all eventually are integrated into the brain structure called insula. And this is a place if you have damage, then you lose the sense of music. That's called a multisensory integration. Now, put it all together. When we go to concert hall or go to gamelan performance, we listen to music. How many places in the brain are involved? Many. I will share with you a few. Here shows a view of the brain from the right side and looking inside. Different color indicate different level of processing. Let me give you an example. For example, when you hear music being piano, violin, gamelan, that are different acoustics. It's this part of the brain, green color, auditory cortex, that's activated. Then when you focus on music and track it, memorize it, then it's this area in the frontal cortex that's activated. Now, sometimes when you hear music that is so touching, bring you into tears, emotion, then it's a structure down here, red color, that evokes emotion. Scientists have done a number of experiments to review it. I'll just give you two examples. They have reviewed, analyzed different parts of the brain that process to frequency, that's a non-music sound. They also found that there are parts of the brain that's right behind our ear that specifically respond to music. This is a green one and a blue one. Okay. But one good news is this species area that all of us have is not unique to musicians. Whether you are musicians or non-musicians, you have the same area. This is perhaps what we're born with. This is possibly one of the human uniqueness in our brain, allow us, any of us, whether we're musician or non-musician, appreciate music. Now, another level to understand music is understand the emotion contents in the music. Because when we listen to music, this part of the brain is activated. But when we remember music, other parts are memorized, they're activated. So my laboratory has done studies to test the emotional contents of music, of a sound. In this case, is voice. Voice, when you sing, carry emotion for emotion, just like music. And we found in this insular cortex, which I mentioned to earlier, that integrate different modality. Neurons there are sensitive to peripheral emotion signal. So when you listen to beautiful music or not so beautiful music, your ear does not tell. It's your brain here that tell. So that's why, as a neuroscientist, musicians often say we train our ear to learn music. Neuroscientists, perhaps after today, all of you will think it is our brain that is listening to music, but it's through the ear. Okay. Now, this is another study done by a scientist called Bob Zaturo in Canada, and which has shown that when you listen to the familiar music, that make you very pleasurable, but the familiar one, these part of the brain are activated, the so-called rewarding system. So when you anticipate of very pleasurable music that give you chills, is this place, DS. When you have experience of this, is this called ventral striatum. Okay, but when you listen to, sometimes we listen to music we never heard before, but it just makes us pleasurable. When you listen to novel music, then other places and the connection between these brain regions that is active. So it's through this experiment, this type of experiment by many scientists over 30, 40 years, we began to slowly understand each part of the brain responsible different element of music. Now, one of the things that's very important for music, that's almost to the core of what we learn and play music, is we memorize music. When you hear a familiar piece, you just need to hear 1 second, you know the rest of them. Okay? Where this memory stored. And we have conducted a study in Beijing a couple of years ago, where we did the following. We asked a subject to rank 10 most familiar music. And we play 1 second, we stop. The rest, the subject recall. So that's the experiment. We let them recall in control, we let them listen the entire thing. So then by working with neurosurgeons in the hospital, sometimes the patients, they have tumors and epilepsy that need surgery. Physicians will put electrode there. Then there's a small window we can record what people's response to. This is a very rare opportunity into the human window. Okay. Then we find out that in the part of the brain that when you listen is activated here in the auditory cortex, in the frontal cortex, that when you record, okay, and this direction of information flow is different, okay. So finally, I'm going to cover that's how do we approach the question why music is beautiful. This is one of the most interesting, the most difficult question. So I'm going to show you this video. Can you play? This is Rennie Fleming, who is a very famous opera singer. Several years ago, he volunteered himself
research coming out about the fact that music
as
has
a
been discovered
subject
to be
for
in
research
a lot
in the
of parts
National
of the
Institute
brain,
of
and therefore it engages
Health.
so much of us.
It's an exciting time in neuroscience. We're beginning to understand how the brain interacts with the environment. And music is a really important part. We're starting to learn ways in which music can influence all kinds of other aspects of one's brain function, and especially how we could use that information to use music therapeutically in an even more powerful way. This initiative aims to bring together communities that haven't necessarily gotten to know each other that well yet, the neuroscientists and the actual.
This gentleman is a former director of the United States National Institute of Health, the chief officer for entire biomedical research. He teamed up with Rennie Freeman, an artist and singer, to begin a program to study music. Until recently, people have no idea when top world-class singers sing, what's happening in their brain. So Rennie Freeman offered himself as a subject. In a moment, you will see she will lie in a scanner, sing an opera piece, and you will see what her brain looks like. This is what I just came to behind our ear, where music eventually come into. This is a world-class singer lying down in this noise machine, sing an opera so that a scientist can measure her brain response. Okay, in this time, I'll move on. So that's not a way to study how the music played, because no musicians ever play music or sing in that situation. So in last year, we move on in Tsinghua University to a different, new type of experiment. We study how the brain responds to music in the concert hall, not in the laboratory. This experiment we did last year with the piano master, Mr. Kong Xiangdong, who is in audience. Mr. Kong was performing a live concert improvisation, and he was wearing an infrared imaging device, which you will see this musician put it on in a few minutes. Right after finish, you will see the live demonstration of that experiment. During this experiment, Mr. Kong played improvisation for 90 minutes. We record his response. Here's some of the news data we never actually published. Just come out. Just show you what can we learn. So Mr. Kong play first improvisation, then play the memory music. Long story short, you look at this electrode in the front of his brain. So let's say, look at this one. This highest one is when he was playing memorized music. But when he improvise or waiting, response is lower. Okay. Now we went on to do another experiment with Mr. Kong, that he come to Tsinghua University. He improvised in the piano, which I believe he will demonstrate in a few minutes. And a participant listen. They do the live music generation. Then we record it. Then both of them sit back to the audience, listen to the playback again. Here's the surprise. So this is pianist's brain responses during improvisation, during listening. You don't have to be scientists to notice difference. They're different. But what if a person listen? Well, this person listening to this, completely different from the pianist. If we quantify this, what you can see is that for pianist when he was playing, his brain response blue was less than when he was listening to his song. Okay, but for the audience, for the participant, it's opposite. So if you sitting next to world-class pianist listen, your brain is much more active than you go home and listen to record CDs you buy from him. That's why you should go to concert. Anyway, so move on. Did a lot more experiment. Today, we have a pleasure to bring these scientists here. These are two scientists seated right here. In fact, they wear same color of clothes. And we did experiment like this, okay? So I'll move on, give you one video showing in that concert. We have a celloist and pianist. Both of them wear this kind of infrared imaging, and we record brain responses. Can you play the video? This is the brain response front, right, and left from a pianist who is playing together with cello. The color indicate the activation of the brain. Red is high, blue is low. This is in real time, this is real data. What you can see is right side of the brain, this is the auditory cortex. When she listened to her partner play cello, it activated different than the left brain. This is really, we show the musician of this. It's really very intriguing that many of us have never seen when a musician actually plays this music. This is one of the most beautiful music I enjoy. So if it's not, my time is up. We'll sit and listen to the rest. But let's move on. Okay. Through experiment this, not only we can measure the musicians, we can measure people in the audience listening. We hope eventually we can understand how the music is perceived by human brain. So last, I'm gonna play this video to you, which you probably never seen elsewhere. All the imaging I played to you are recorded in the human body brain in a library, in a concert. The data are interesting, but they're limited. So this is image, can you play video? That will have opportunity to record direct of the brain of an experimental animal that we can observe the individual neuron. We play a music. The piece many of you might be familiar. Now, every tiny dot here represent a group of neurons. In group of neurons, in our brain, we have millions of them. Okay, and what you can tell is a different activation in different parts of the brain lights up when different music come and go, percussions, string music. So if you fly United Airlines enough, this is beginning sound for United Airlines that I use. Okay, so let me finish by saying a few words about, in addition to all the basic research, what can society benefit from this? After all, direct benefits is something we call music therapy. So several years ago, National Institute of Health in the United States organized scientists to discuss this question. That's not trivial. We all know music can change, get you moving, lift your mood, and even help you recall memory. But can it help your health? This needed rigorous scientific study. We and others are working on this. Now, what kind of things music can do to improve health? Well, give you example of music therapy for neurological disorders. For example, aging, Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's, stroke, autism. All of this could potentially benefit from music therapy that I listed here. And this is a theme of a workshop we have here this year, perhaps in coming year, okay? So I'm gonna skip this. Finally, I'm going to show this. This video shows the music therapy help children with autism played by Professor Zhang Mengyi. She's a musician and a scientist. She's composing young conservative music. So these kids are special kids. Normally they cannot function in a proper social way. As you all know, this is autism kids. But Ms. Zhang and her colleagues taught these kids from the ground up, learning how to play instrument. Now we see how they perform. This is a very, really inspiring example showing musicians and scientists can bring music into the benefits of the society. And Ms. Zhang will play with you the instrument that she play in there. Okay, so with that, I'll conclude my talk here. Thank you, and I hope this share with somebody. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you, Professor Xiaoqun Wang. What a thought-provoking talk. Now I know it is my brain that is listening to music, not my ears. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, next it is my honor to invite the Vice Minister of Culture of the Republic of Indonesia, Mas Giring Ganesha Jumario, to take the stage. He will be performing while connected to the FNIRS device, allowing you to observe his brain activity in real time as he sings. So this will give us insight into different parts of his brain that are activated during musical performance. To Mas Giring, the stage is yours.
I just want to say a few, mungkin tadi kalau misalnya tidak terlalu ditekankan ya, saya jelaskan ini alat ini khusus didatangkan dari Tsinghua Laboratory of Brain and Intelligence, the laboratory di mana saya bekerja sebagai profesor dulu. Alat ini adalah satu-satunya di dunia. This is the only technology in the world, and we brought it to Indonesia to offer all of you to see how the brain really works during a musical performance. Jadi di dunia tidak ada, inilah kesempatan bagaimana kita bisa melihat bagaimana otak kita gitu bekerja waktu sedang musik. Jadi ini sungguh luar biasa dan terima kasih sekali. Thank you very much to Professor Xiaoqun Wang, and of course thank you Mas Giring and all the musicians and performance. Thank you so much for gonna enjoy this.
Saya ini biasanya kalau nyanyi itu nggak bisa diem. Tapi kali ini disuruh diem katanya. Tapi sebelumnya boleh kita ucapkan selamat ulang tahun buat Wakil Menteri Stella yang kemarin berulang tahun. Boleh kita nyanyi? 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to. Happy birthday to. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Oke. Kita doain Stella umurnya panjang, sehat selalu, dan juga semakin jenius, dan juga rezekinya makin banyak, mimpinya semua menjadi kenyataan. Oke, ini lagu pertama. Saya biasanya kalau nyanyi lagu ini jingkrak-jingkrak. Jadi saya bagi 3 lagu supaya teman-teman bisa tahu di otak saya seperti apa. Nanti ditayangin ya. Oh wow. Lagu pertama agak upbeat, jadi bikin semangat. Lagu kedua adalah lagu pilihan saya yang bikin saya emosional setiap kali saya mendengar. Bahkan kadang-kadang kalau saya mendengar lagu ini saya menangis. Jadi teman-teman juga bisa lihat seperti apa. Dan yang lagu terakhir tentang harapan, kebahagiaan, mimpi, bersyukur, dan semoga di lagu yang terakhir teman-teman juga bisa ikut nyanyi bersama saya ya. Kok bisa? Oke? Oke, kita coba ya. Saya nggak bakal gerak-gerak. Jadi kalau apalagi yang dari Indonesia, mana tangannya mana dari Indonesia nih? Oke. Oh banyak ya. Yang dari Indonesia kalau mau berdiri nyanyi silahkan ya. Jangan saya aja yang dikerjain hari ini, tapi saya juga teman-teman harus dikerjain juga dong hari ini ya gak? Oke, sekali yuk, monggo playback. Oke, aduh. Jadi ini yang tuh ya gini. Supaya lebih interaktif, Profesor Stella boleh tolong jelaskan ke teman-teman ini gimana ya? Ini yang mana, boleh gak? Kita juga bingung. Saya nggak berani lihat soalnya. Explain.
So if you look here, this is your brain, response of your brain. This is your brain response. Yeah.
Okay.
See, when you are talking, your frontal part of your brain is red.
Right.
It's very active because you are generating word. But you may not notice when he was singing earlier, the frontal cortex is not very active because he's probably memorized it. But the side of your cortex is here is active because you listen to yourself.
Okay.
So while we are singing, whole time the entire audience is watching your brain in action.
Oh, normal ya Bang? Profesor normal ya kita ya? Aman ya berarti, Michael aman ya?
So if you allow us, we will analyze the data.
Yes.
And share with you later.
Just share it to me only.
To you only.
Not to the international public ya Pak ya?
No.
I'm just kidding Pak.
Thank you.
Please give a big round of applause for Professor Wang the technology. Nah, lagu berikut is a very special song. It's not my song, no. Bukan lagu saya. Tapi lagu yang waktu Niji baru mau mulai, ini lagu yang menginspirasi saya begitu banyak hal untuk menulis lagu. Beberapa kali saya mendengarkan lagu ini di saat momen-momen di hidup saya lagi di bawah. Dan ini adalah momen-momen lagu di mana saya jadi semangat lagi. Tapi sebelumnya saya juga mau say hi ke Mas Gilang Ramadan, ini juga seorang musisi jenius. Yang saya rasa otaknya juga harus dicek. Karena ini maestro Indonesia, tepuk tangan buat Mas Gilang. Ini kalau dia lagi main drum harus dicek nih otaknya deh, ya kan. Dan juga Mas Gilang ini banyak membantu Kementerian Kebudayaan dalam melestarikan musik-musik tradisional. Ya kan. Oke, lagu berikut teman-teman yang tahu lagunya please nyanyi bareng dan mudah-mudahan kita bisa lihat kalau lagunya bikin saya menangis. Saya penasaran otak saya seperti apa. Tolong dilaporin ya. Yuk. I always cry with that song. Ini Mas Yofi kapan nih? Mas Yofi kapan? Hah? So kalau Mas Yofi dicek otaknya cantik semua. Cantik apa gitu kan? Maka isinya cuman ya kan. Tepuk tangan buat Mas Yofi. Bisa Mas Yofi juga nih. Dan sebenarnya kalau saya boleh propose Stella, if I can propose maybe the next yang penelitian berikutnya harus dilatih juga perkusi seperti Mas Gilang, bagaimana otaknya, karena kan beliau bisa nih, saya pernah lihat sendiri Mas Gilang itu tangan kanannya main apa, tangan kirinya main beat apa, kaki kanannya main beat apa, itu saking maestronya beliau dan bagaimana dia preservasi dan musisi-musisi tradisional. Dan kalau Mas Yofi juga harus dianalisa karena Mas Yofi itu bisa, contoh misalnya kita kasih tantangan, Mas Yofi tolong bikin lagu tentang musim duren misalnya. Coba. Mas Yofi, ini mic. Tolong Mas Yofi bikin lagu tentang, karena ini musim duren nih, dari kemarin saya makan duren terus kerjaannya.
Lihat teman-teman itu harapan buat dari musik, kita bisa punya hati yang lebih indah, kita bawa kesehatan dan bawa hal yang lebih indah di dunia ini, dan ini luar biasa Prof. Stella dan ya luar biasa pertemuan ini, moga-moga menjadi inspirasi jadi banyak alat di Indonesia nanti. Lalu kalau untuk saya tadi kan kelihatan pergerakan emosi terjadi seperti apa, bagaimana dengan saya dengan lagu-lagu cintanya ya. Dan saya buat lagu dari mungkin teman banyak melihat waktu dari mulai menyatakan cinta, patah hati, jadian, udahan, jadian lagi sampai menikah.
Soal nikah udah satu tiga cucu. Jangan sampai udahan yang lain dong ya. Ya. Jangan habis.
Lagi dengan
Terima kasih Mas Yofi. Profesor.
Tapi seperti tadi Mas Giring bilang bahwa segala sesuatu itu kalau kita lihat dengan cara indah maka akan jadi begitu rumit, warnanya jadi lebih powerful. Tapi begitu dia menyanyi dengan hati, warna ada biru ya, warna yang lain.
Tadi ya, saya nggak berani lihat tuh. Oh gitu, lagi semangat gitu ya. Oh, no. Profesor Stella mestinya Mas Yofi nih.
Kan ya. Mungkin Mas Giring agak repot ini. Ini ada kalau kita melihat bahwa sesuatu yang rumit kita tekan seperti ini kayak sirine nih. Tapi kalau misalnya dengan cinta bisa begini.
Beda, luar biasa. More. Sekarang saya mainin 3 nada. Ya, coba kita main 3 nada random ya. Sekarang Mas Yofi nih. Ini seberapa jenius Mas Yofi nih. Saya main 3 nada random nih. Saya nggak ngeliat nih ya. Siap Mas Yofi lihat ya. Sorry. Ting. Oke, nih. Nih. Ya.
Begitu agak ya.
Jatuh cinta di musim duren. Ya. Wah. Waduh.
Kurang lebih begitu. Lanjut Mas Giring.
Mas Yofi dong. Next time Mas Yofi ya Mbak Stella ya sama Mas Gilang ya. Nah, tadi balik lagi bahwa musik bikin happy, musik bikin sehat dan yang lainnya. Mungkin sebelum lagu berikut saya mau cerita tentang sebuah lagu yang Saya ciptakan di tahun 2008 dan waktu itu alhamdulillah menjadi lagu terbaik di Anugerah Musik Indonesia di tahun itu dan menang banyak award di lagu ini. Tapi ada satu award yang menurut saya paling luar biasa dan ini berhubungan sekali dengan sore ini. Bagaimana musik bikin apa ya? Menginspirasi ya. Jadi suatu saat dulu Niji itu punya base camp di Pancoran. Jadi semua fans kita berkumpul sore itu. Ada rame banget. Kita manggil Nijoholic. Isinya anak ABG. Tiba-tiba datanglah seorang, sebentar Pak, times up, sedikit lagi. Lagi cerita nih, dikit sabar. Dikit, setelah dikit lagi ya. Soalnya menghantar lagu ini soalnya. Jadi tiba-tiba datang seorang ibu-ibu bersama anaknya dan cucunya. Jadi 3 generasi. Nah, terus sang nenek ngomong gini, Mas Giring, ini cucu saya mau minta foto sama tanda tangan. Oh, oke, siap Nek, siap. Tanda tangan dong, siap. Terus kemudian nenek yang ngomong, Mas Giring, terima kasih ya. Ah, terima kasih kenapa? Nih cerita asli ya. Terima kasih kenapa Nek? Terima kasih. Saya baru saja kehilangan kedua payudara saya karena cancer. Tapi saya nggak pernah sedih. Saya selalu semangat. Karena saya setiap hari mendengarkan lagu Laskar Pelangi yang membuat saya bersyukur dan bahagia. Jadi itulah kekuatan dari musik, dari lagu yang bisa membuat kita semangat menjalani hidup. Oleh karena itu biar semangat juga hari Minggunya boleh kita berdiri, kita nyanyi bareng Laskar Pelangi buat kita semua. Santi, Om. Dan semoga semua makhluk hidup berbahagia. Terima kasih.
Thank you.
Gimana nih?
Thank you, Mas Giring, for your amazing performance. It really brings me back to my younger years. Our gratitude also goes to the Tsinghua Laboratory of Brain and Intelligence at Tsinghua University for providing us with the opportunity to witness his brain activity in action while he was singing. What a truly groundbreaking research experience. So let's give them all a big round of applause. Okay, next, it is a great pleasure to have with us an exceptional,
Gimana Mbak Stella?
Giring harus udah harus
Iya,
pulang.
kita
Oh iya.
ke Jakarta.
Oke. Acara kita
Kerja
masih
lagi, kerja. Tidak ada libur. Di Kabinet Merah Putih tidak boleh libur.
Iya, Kabinet Merah Putih. Mas Giring harus langsung pulang, jadi kita mau sekali lagi mengucapkan yang terima kasih sekali ke Mas Giring.
Profesor.
Dan kita acaranya akan masih lanjut, tapi Mas Yofi masih di sini. Mas Yofi akan
Gantian Mas Yofi dong.
Iya. Jadi terima kasih sekali Mas
Sekali lagi
Giring,
terima kasih,
sekali
terima kasih
Ibu.
Bapak-bapak,
Terima
Ibu-ibu,
kasih.
terima kasih.
Thank you.
Beforehand, we would like to give a token of appreciation. All right, we're going to take a picture first. This is a recycle peacock from the recycle can. Got it? The second token of appreciation is going to be given by Professor Stella. Thank you so much, Mas Giring, for coming into our event. The rest, please be seated, and the event is going to continue. Thank you.
Thank you, Mega. Okay, next, it is a great pleasure to have with us an exceptional pianist, Siang Dong Kong, who will perform for us. And while he's performing, he will also be connected to the FNIRS device, and we can see his brain activity in real time as he plays the piano. But before that, please allow me to introduce a little bit about him. Chinese pianist Yang Dongkong is a music evangelist and an enthusiast for public welfare and environmental awareness. And Mr. Kong had enjoyed a distinguished music career ever since the 1986 Tchaikovsky International Piano Competition, when he became the youngest prize winner. His continuous triumphs in numerous international piano competitions won broad recognition as one of the most gifted piano talents in his generation. He was the first Chinese pianist to perform at Hollywood Bowl with the Los Angeles Philharmonic Orchestra in 1994, and also the first Chinese musician to be invited by the Chancellor of Austria to perform a solo recital at the Musikverein in Vienna in 2004. Apart from his many international concert appearances and orchestras and in recitals, he also became the first Asian pianist to record for BMG RCA Red Seal with the legendary producer John Pfeiffer. To Siang Dongkong, the stage is yours.
Left the floor. Everyone, Her Excellency Stella, and all wonderful pianists. Well, after I heard such a wonderful singer, I just hope there'll be more cultural ministers in the world could sing like that. Don't you agree? If there are more cultural ministers can sing like that, there'll be more music could be created and be more beautiful songs could be heard, and there will be more peacefulness in the whole world, right? It's my great honor to be in Bali. It's my first time in Indonesia, and definitely not last for sure. I've enjoyed very much with Mr. Xiaoqing Wang and his staff, and all scientists come from all over the world here to share the integrity, the wonderful search, and the bravery test that we all together united to do to search the brain and music. I think music is a language deep in our hearts. And not only in our hearts, it got to be in our life, day and day. And as a musician, ever since I was 5 years old, I started to play piano. But the thing is, playing piano made me understand music actually is a love. Learning music is learning to love. Learning performing music is learning how to communicate and share love. So I'm doing the first thing I'm going to do is I want to improvise a little bit about my last 72 hours impression of Bali, Indonesia, for all of you. since I know that Excellency Stella just had a wonderful birthday of 18 years old yesterday, may I present a music gift for you? But in this case, you have to cooperate with me a little bit. Yes, please. You come here. Please do give me full notes. 2 on black keys, 2 on white keys. Just full notes, any full notes. Then I will improvise a piece dedicated to you. Sorry, I cannot understand stand up because I can I? Okay, please. Yeah, any 4 keys, please. You can sit, please. One at a time. Thank you. Okay, B flat. Okay, E flat. Fantastic. 2 more white keys. Okay, G. Okay, A. Difficult though. Okay, actually, I had a wonderful life actually. During my young years of winning competitions and touring around the world, and but also I had an interesting lifetime. I had 8 years of depression. 8 years of depression, and I left the stage, I left the public eyes. But during those years, many friends came to see me and visit me. So I start to play all the traditional stuff for them, and they loved it. But later on, I think, well, I want to make the music more connected to the listeners. So I start to say, well, I can compose for you. So all the friends they said, oh, we never knew you learned composing. Well, I said, composing, you don't need to learn. You just need to play more and more, then automatically you can play, So I start to compose for them. But again, I discovered that it was not intimate enough. I want people to be totally connected to music without no boundaries, without no gaps, nothing. So I said, well, you give me 4 notes. I dedicate a piece for you. So far I have created music in this way for 3,500 people. And I'm very glad to dedicate my first composition for beautiful lady, Her Excellency Stella. So she gave me actually 4 notes, right? B flat, E flat, G, and A. So put together is okay. So I'm starting. Thank you. I can come back to Bali and Indonesia soon. And if you offer me a great opportunity, I would love to play with my piano friend. What you just did, a little bit, was really fantastic. I think when the world have more musicians and artists to join our government administrative work, somehow the world will become better. I do believe in that. Well, being a musician, I have to say we are more humane. We love humanities. We do share love, and we want the whole world to be better, selflessly. And whenever humankind exists, there's always love needed. So there's should be more music, more arts, more beautiful things to cherish our lives. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kong, for your performance. I think I felt really sad. I don't know which part of my brain that makes it sad, but yeah, it really activates my brain. And I especially very thankful for your acknowledgement of the music, arts, and culture for the well-being of the humanity. Like I'm sure here we have with us our fellows from performing arts community in Bali, and I'm very really thankful that you acknowledge their hard work and for the betterment of our future. Thank you.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Next, ladies and gentlemen, it is our honor to introduce two exceptional musicians who have been sitting here since the beginning of time. They will grace us with the performance of Chinese instruments, showcasing their extraordinary talents and contribution to the world of music. First, playing guzheng. Please welcome Ms. Meng Yi Zhang, an associate professor of guzheng performance at the Shenyang Conservatory of Music. She's not only an accomplished performer, but also a pioneer in using music to positively impact individuals with autism. Her workshop has been officially established as a practice and research base for children with ASD in China, making her contribution for both artistically and socially invaluable. And alongside her, playing Zhu, we have Miss Ling Peng, an associate professor, research scholar, and also performer of ancient musical instruments from Beijing Musical Instrument Research Institute. She has won prestigious awards such as the Star of Science and Technology and has restored a variety of ancient musical instruments, obtaining more than 30 national patents. Her work has preserved and revived the rich history of Chinese music for future generations. Please join me in welcoming Ms. Meng Yi Zhang and Ms. Ling Peng to the stage, already on the stage, with a big round of applause.
That's a very. I would like to introduce a little bit about that instrument. Madame Peng is playing. This is a very ancient instrument, and she has been participating with his fellow friends to recreate this ancient instrument just very recently, and even looks like pretty much has some similarities, but the sounding, even the way play it, is quite different, and it's very astonishingly striking. So they're gonna play this piece. So I'm gonna join them on this little piano here. Okay. So this ancient instrument could be tuned. The name of this instrument called zhu. Zhu means architecture or building. 建筑的筑。是这样吗？你们先来，我跟你们哈。When we haven't rehearsed it, we're gonna improvise together. 管老师准备好啊，下个是你。 啊，没事没事，你好玩，差不多，我不会太像。先来一段啊，不重复吗？蜻蜓秘密吧。啊，你们俩先开个头，然后我自己找地方，反正就大气跟着走呗。啊啊啊！We're gonna perform this melody. You don't have to know the titles because every one of you know it. It's not just famous. It's eternally love. You're gonna definitely love this. 钢琴有点不准，所以没关系，没关系，it's okay。对。我想管现在唱这个长笛吧，好不好？Okay, I almost forgot. We have a very wonderful flute player, and he is a very famous professor, Mr. Guan, Professor Guan. He was the chairperson for automation for Tsinghua University for many years, and he is now among the audience. We actually rehearsed a little bit. He's going to play flute with us. He is definitely the best flutist among all the scientists in China. We're going to perform together the very famous piece by Bach, Air, the Air, because we enjoy so much beautiful air here. So I want to tell Bach about it.
Thank you, Meng Zhang and Li Yingpeng. Such a very beautiful performance. And please remain on stage because I would like to invite now Vice Minister Professor Stella Christie to the stage to present a token of appreciation to all today's speakers and performers. And also, I would like to invite Professor Shakin Wang, Jiang Dong Kong, and Professor Meng Zhang and Li Yingpeng. Please. Yeah. Terus. Okay, that's such a delightful surprise. Okay, sure. Please, Mas Yofi Widianto.
Siapa yang mau menyanyi sini? Ada misalnya. Ada siapa? Boleh suaranya bagus yuk temennya. Satu lagi Mas. Oke. Ini katanya dia mau nyanyiin lagu. Siapa namanya Mbak De?
Justin.
Justin. Sebenarnya lagu ini ketika pertama kali saya buat lagu ini, hampir seluruh pendengarnya di seluruh Indonesia protes. Nggak bener Mas Yofi, nggak ada lagu yang seperti itu. Tapi sampai hari ini, lagu ini udah dibawakan banyak orang, termasuk terakhir Raisa. Dan tampaknya masih jadi lagu gagal move on terbaik kayaknya di Indonesia. Dan satu hal, kalau yang berpasang-pasangan, kalau mendengar lagu ini biasanya suka tiba-tiba ngeliatin terus nginjak, ayo inget siapa. Nah, kalau udah dengar lagu ini jangan di WA ya, lupakan saja. Saya juga berterima kasih buat teman-teman semua di sini yang mendengarkan musik Indonesia. Hari ini lagu saya sudah didengarkan di 3.700.000.000 kali di Spotify untuk lagu-lagunya. Salah satu yang terbanyak di dunia dan ini datang dari Indonesia. Semoga ini juga menyemangati karya-karya pemusik dari Indonesia berikutnya. Lagu ini judulnya, kalau bahasa Inggrisnya My Beautiful Ex, mantan terindah.
Thank you so much, Mas Yofi. Mas Yofi, please remain on stage because Professor Stella will give you a token of appreciation. And also, I would like to invite Professor Shakin Wang to come to the stage. And then Miss I forgot. Professor Mei Zhang and Professor Li Yingpeng, please come on stage to receive a token of appreciation from Prof. Stella. Oh, also, I forgot. I would also welcome Mr. Xiang Dongkong. Is he still here? Yes. Okay, now let's take a group photo once more. 1, 2, ready? Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Once again. Okay, and now I would like to also invite all the VIP seated in the first row to join us on stage to have a group photo. Okay, let's take a picture together. 1, 2, 3. Okay, once more. 1, 2, 3. Thank you so much. And now, in return, Ibu Sherin Rusalim will also give a token appreciation to Professor Stella, Professor Shakin Wang, Mas Yofi Widianto, and also Xiang Dongkong. Okay, that's all a token of appreciation from Ibu Sherin Rusalim, Board of Trustee of Tsinghua Southeast Asia Center. Now let's take a group photo. 1, 2, 3. Okay, once more. 1, 2, 3. Okay, great, awesome. Please return to your seat. Later. Okay. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have now reached the final agenda for today, and it is an honor for me to invite the Vice Minister of Higher Education, Science and Technology of the Republic of Indonesia, Professor Stella Christie, to deliver her closing remarks. Oh, okay.
I said at the beginning of this, I hope you will enjoy it. And I think you really have enjoyed it. Yes. So I think when today Professor Xiaoqin Wang tell us, why is music so beautiful? And I think music is so beautiful because it is made by humans and it is listened by us. And so there is beauty in culture. There is beauty in diversity. Today we have a lot of friends. We see our friendships between, we have international friends and friends from China, music from Indonesia. And science is something that's universal. So in diversity, we have universality. Saya harap para hadirin sekalian sungguh menikmati hari ini. Kita semua bagian dari Kabinet Merah Putih yang dipimpin oleh Bapak Presiden Prabowo Subianto. Yang kalau saya boleh cerita, beliau juga sangat suka musik. Dan kami semua bekerja keras untuk Indonesia, untuk membudayakan sains dan membuat segala sesuatu yang menjadi kebanggaan dari bangsa kita junjung dan kita kerjakan sebaik-baiknya. Percayalah Indonesia, we thank all of you for your presence today and we work together for the goodness of our nations, for the friendships of this world and to make the human kind beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Stella, and for all of you, thank you so much. That's the end of today's event. I hope that you found it both inspiring and meaningful. That's us. That's it. We are inviting everyone to take picture together on the Yeah. Oh yeah.
I forgot to say, I'm sorry, I forgot to say something that's really, really important. I really want to thank very, very much. It's extremely, extremely a difficult thing to bring all these things together. So first, I want to thank Professor Xiaoqin Wang and all my scientist friends from Tsinghua Laboratory of Brain and Music to bring this equipment and to bring all these musics and together. All these people here, they are scientists and musicians. All these people. It's really, it's a logistical headache to say the least, and it's really complicated. So I think if we're not friends, Xiaoqin wouldn't bring this here. So, so thank you. I also really want to thank my team. I want to thank the TC team, but I also want to thank my team, Team Dikti Saintek. Terima kasih tim Dikti Saintek. We work very hard to make this thing to serve the Indonesian public. I want to thank the team from the Ministry of Culture. And there are so many people that I do not say one by one, but I know personally how hard all of you work to make this event to work. Thank you. And of course, thank you so much to all of you to make this thing happen. Thank you.
Thank you. I cannot top that, Professor Stella. So that's the end of our event, and I would like to invite everyone to come downstairs to take pictures in SDG stairs. Okay? Thank you so much for your attendance and have a good rest.